Hi, I'm Zach Holyoak. I'm here with Saddlery today, and we are going to build a swell bag. So today for this project, we're going to need a red board. We're going to need some setters for our snaps. We have these patterns we're going to use today. I've got some pre-cut pieces already for it. We need a round knife, a number 1 edger. We're going to use a 3/4 inch point punch. We got a bellow here for our bag that's 5 inches by 24 inches long. We're going to need a hole punch, our die pin, our glue, a mallet, and a little piece of canvas with some beeswax on it, and our snaps. All right, to get started on your swell bag today, we need to take our pieces that we've cut out and we need to get them nice and cased up real fast. So after we get these dunked in our water and cased up, we're going to put our 3/4 inch punch on our tab down here on our lid piece. After we got our tab with our 3/4 inch punch on this, we can go ahead and start edging and burnishing this. What I'm going to start edging and burnishing on the lid is just the round edges. The straight back side, you don't have to edge. So our lid's edged on the round sides and not the straight. Now we'll move to the face of it. The only edge you need to edge and burnish on this is the straight side on this piece. Okay. Now this will be, the bigger piece will be your back side of your swell bag. So we'll edge all the way around this front and back. Okay. Now since you have all your pieces edged, we're going to go ahead and dye the edges and burnish them. Okay, so we got our edges all dyed, and now we're going to go ahead, use our canvas with a little bit of beeswax on it, and we're going to go ahead and burnish the edges. Now since you got your edges all dyed and burnished, now we're going to go ahead and start kind of pre-fitting it and put some marks on it for reference points. So what I like to do first is I like to take our back piece, which is our bigger piece, and I like to take our face, and I'd like to put it, we're going to build this today, rough out. And we're going to put it and match up this same curve to the back piece with your front. And I'm going to come in and draw a light line on that straight edge that we just dyed and burnished. Okay? So now from there, we can move to our lid, and this on the pattern that we have a dot already in the pattern to tell you where to put your snap. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to punch that hole now also, and get this ready for the snap. Okay, so this is punched, ready for your snap. These are edged, burnished, all that. You have your reference line in there. So now we're going to move to our bellow now, or gusset, and get that prepped to go on our swell bag. So this piece right here is just a piece of chap hide, 3/4 ounce. It's about 5 inches wide and about 24 inches long for this project. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take and fold or put it on the rough out side up, and we're going to skive down the edges and fold one over, glue it and fold one over. Okay, so we're going to skive this end down to paper, maybe about a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch of a bevel. Okay, then we're going to run some glue just on the same spot we just beveled. Now when you have your glue all nice and tacked up, what we can do now is we can take this end and we're going to fold it right to the edge of our glue, and just press it down on top of each other. Makes a really nice, clean roll to it. Okay, now from here, what we're going to do is we're going to take this bellow and we're going to start sewing it onto the face of our swell bag. Now since we're all edged and burnished, now we're going to go ahead and start attaching our bellows to our swell bag. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take the very front piece of our swell bag and I'm going to take our bellow. Whatever side you decide to put your bellow on, like if you want the smooth out forward or facing out, what you want to do is you want to put that same side facing into the bellow. We're going to go ahead and we're going to make our bellow smooth out today. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up the top of our bellow with the face of our swell bag. Okay. All right, so I'm going to start stitching this, and on this very first stitch we want to back stitch on this. And from here we're free floating on our bellow, so you're going to have to move and manipulate this around. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to put my bellow up close to the edge of that and leave my finger next to the skirting leather so it helps guide it along. And as I come to these corners, I'm just going to take and twist it around, and the same deal, have your Chap leather sitting right on the edge with your skirting leather. And take your time as you go around this, because this Chap leather can roll over the top of the skirting leather and you can miss your edge. So pay attention to where your skirting leather and your Chap leather is meeting up. Okay, so now I'm back down to about to the edge of the face of the swell bag. I'm going to stop maybe a ½ inch or so, and I'm going to back stitch from here. Okay, and then I'm going to pull off the sewing machine. So now I take it off the sewing machine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pair of scissors and I'm going to cut above our straight line, maybe about a ½ inch. Trim this bellow down. Okay, I'm going to take and I'm going to fold it back in on itself so it's even with the top of our swell bag. And I'm going to sew, I'm going to back stitch on that fold now. Okay, now from here we can go ahead and burn our edges. Now since you've taken it off, we've burned the edges, now what we're going to do with the front of this is we're going to take and we're going to roll our bellow around our skirting leather. So now we have a nice rolled edge on the front of this. And our skirting leather's hanging out the back. Okay, at this point, even though this isn't glued down, we'll move this around. It's going to stretch on you when you go to sew it again. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to grab our back piece now. And we're going to take and line that Chap leather up right with the edge, or with our reference line we've drawn on the back. We're going to hold it in place and start sewing it. Okay, I'm getting down to the end here. So now I'm going to come in, and this piece actually is going to line up really nice with our line. So I'm going to end up folding that and sewing all the way down to the end and back stitching. Okay, so now your swell bag should look like this. You should have your Chap leather rolled over the front, and it should be able to move and spring. Okay, so now from here, we're also going to attach our lid. So go ahead and grab your lid the way we're wanting to put it on. We're going to build this rough out. So I'm going to put the rough out to me, or away from me, sorry, and the smooth out to me. I'm going to line it up with the edge of our swell bag on that line that we drawn earlier. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to sew just on the inside of this lid. Okay, so now we have our bellow attached, our front piece attached to our back, and we also have our lid sewn on. Now we can go ahead, get back to the table, set our rivets, do some little bit of cleanup, and we're done with this project. Now after you're done sewing, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put on our snaps. Also, while we're right here, since we did not get this glued down, since our chap leather will move on us, we're going to put some glue in it and make a nice fold out of it. For this part, I'd like to just dip my finger in my glue, lay it on its side, get a little glue up in there, and stick it back in on itself. Makes a really nice clean edge right there. Okay, so from here, I'm going to take and I'm going to kind of compress my swell bag down. I'm going to bring my lid and kind of push on it and fold it down. I'm going to bring it down to where I want my snaps going to be, and I'm going to take a pencil and I'm just going to mark where that hole was on my lid on the face of this. So now where we have our marker on our face, we're going to take a drill and a little drill bit and we're just going to punch a hole through our leather. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take and come from the back on the inside with our snaps. So you've got a flat side and your tube. You're going to take your snap and you're going to insert it inside your bag up through the top. Okay, we're going to use our little anvils. I'm going to slip it on the inside of this bag and make sure my rivet's setting on top of it. I'm going to take our bottom piece to our snap. We'll set it on there and set our snap. Okay, so now we'll just repeat the process on the other side and make sure your snaps are going the right way so you don't get them backwards. I'm going to take my button and put it on top, take my bottom piece of the button. We'll set this snap. Okay, then from here, I like to just check and see where my snaps fall. Okay. From here, you're done with your project. At this point up in here, you can actually drill holes. You can put 2 1/2-inch slots in here for strings, depending on how you'd like to attach it to your saddle. But this would be your finished project after you're done.